How's it going, guys? This is Isolate here, bringing you another draft analysis. As you can tell by the title, we are the Bold Strike Bishops again. Because to be honest, I don't want to change it because I like the logo, and yeah, I like the team name. I think it clicks. So yeah, this is a CIL. We got some possibly familiar faces that you guys might know. Mighty Mamoswine is one. He deals with the GBA and stuff. Also, CantoCast Blue is, affiliated with it somehow. Like, the commentators. I watch the GBA stuff, so that's kind of cool. And then we have Hank the Pidgey. What just happened? Hank the Pidgey, he was actually in the GBA too. So this is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so basically, there aren't really any tiers. We just had the ability to draft whatever we wanted, basically, which is pretty interesting. I didn't really know that when I came in, but I was alright with it because it adds stuff. So it's different. So there, and also weeks, quote unquote weeks, are actually going to be 2 weeks because it's kind of like the league is kind of more laid back and stuff, which is definitely different for me, but I think it's going to be fine because that gives me more time to deal with other things, and it gives me more time to record, I guess, since the battles might be every other week, but for me it's easier because if I can't record it 1 week, then I'll be able to record it the next week and put it up on schedule. So that's cool. So yeah, I guess we'll get right into it. I think there are 15 people in this league, and there's buys, I believe, so because there's an odd number of people. So my first pick, I wanted Mega Sceptile for a long time because I wanted to see how it worked, but I just looked at this Pokemon and just said yes, I really want it because I don't want it to go on any other team, and I felt like it could be great for me. So I picked up Mega Lopunny. Now, Mega Lopunny, actually I have water here, so that my voice doesn't get too dry. Anyway, this Lopunny, it's great, obviously. Controversially, the best Mega in Draft League format, other than Mega Medicham, of course. But no, I'm kidding. It's faster, obviously. It gets Fake Out, which is great. Stab, Fake Out, and having Scrappy as its ability means literally nothing can wall it. I'm gonna be hitting high jump kicks as long as my opponent doesn't use Protect, which some people might do. But yeah, and it's just got a bunch of stuff. Magic Coat for bouncing back stuff that could be useful. It gets Baton Pass, Encore, so it could be utility, Heal Bell, and Healing Wish even. So I just wanted to pull this up real quick. It gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punching moves. That's a lot. I don't know why I counted that slow, but yeah, and another, I think I just said it, but it can hit ghost types with return and high jump kick, which is going to be crucial, I think. So it also gets Thunder Wave, so that's nice. So yeah, I guess that's it for this season. Sorry if you hear background noise, by the way, because nothing I can do about that. My brothers are just doing stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be shiny, obviously. I always make my shinies, my megas shiny in leagues, and it's Disciple. So I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, next pick. I'm just gonna hop right into it. I got Zapdos because Zapdos is great. People usually expect it to be. It's actually in UU now, I think. Yeah, it's in UU. It said it was in OU, so I don't know. Doesn't really matter. As people usually predict this thing to be defensive or especially defensive, but it's got a base 125 attack or special attack and 100 speed, and that's a lot. So that's great. It can be used offensively. I didn't even know it got screens. That's kind of cool. Yeah, wait, does it get both? I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. Ominous Wind. I didn't know it got that. I didn't know it got Twister, but no, it gets Sandstorm. That's weird. It also gets U-Turn if I don't want to use Volt Switch for some reason. If my opponent has a lot of ground types, I guess, then I could go with U-Turn. It gets Tailwind, Toxic, Roost, Roar, a lot of things that could be nice. Defog is, I'm just gonna say right now, this is the only Pokemon that gets hazard removal, which is pretty bad. But it's fine. I actually tried an Agility Baton Pass Zapdos before, and it works pretty well. So yeah, we're gonna be nicknaming this thing Radiation. It will stay unshiny, but I also got this thing because of its typing. It resists fighting and flying, which are two of Megalopony's weaknesses. So yeah, the other one's Fairy, but I wasn't worried about Fairy right now. And if you've seen my past, I'm just going to go on to the next one. If you've seen my past leagues, you've seen that I don't really draft Fairies. That's because to be honest, I forget. I don't really prioritize it. And yeah, I prioritize getting what I want and what I feel like I need for a balanced playstyle. But instead, this season, I decided to get a Fairy, and that was Azumarill. Now, Azumarill, what does it do? It resists the ice that Zapdos is weak to, and also Megalopony, once it Mega Evolves, resists the rock that Radiation is weak to. So, this thing, it has a grass weakness, which Zapdos resists, and I think it's an Electrical weakness, which nothing, but it's fine, and a poison weakness. I'm not sure if Disciple resists poison or not. I keep forgetting. I don't think it does, actually. No, I don't. It doesn't. So anyway, this thing is going to be named Diggersby though, because it's a bunny. For some reason, the Pokemon Company thing has a fascination with bunnies having a huge power. So I don't get it. It makes up for its trash attack, so, you know, base 50 attack, and it's still, you know, one of the biggest offensive threats. Because of Bell Jump, Aqua Jet, you know, these two moves right here. Just basically put it in OU. If it didn't get either of those or huge power, it would be an NU. No doubt about it. So, maybe not, maybe it would be an RU, but I don't know. Because if it didn't have huge power, its attack would be pitiful. But it actually has two different abilities which are pretty good. Thick Fat, so, you know, if my opponent has a lot of fire and ice type Pokemon, then I guess Thick Fat would be nice if I want this thing to be defensive. And also Sap Sipper, which is, you know, gets rid of that grass weakness and raises my attack if I get hit by a grass type move. So probably not going to be doing that though. Huge power is just the best. So yeah, Aqua Jet for priority Encore it gets, which is interesting. Knockoff, Parachon, Play Rough, which is basically the nuke button. Superpower, which is great for what is it? What am I trying to say? It's great for coverage. And then we can go sub Power Punch if it works. Base 100 HP is pretty good for, you know, like if my opponent brings like a Chansey or a Blissey, then I can go 252 HP, and I'll be at that 404, which means I can sub up on it and go to work. So that would be great, since it can't really do anything else to me. All it can do is Seismic Toss, as long as it doesn't bring coverage for an Azumarill, which I'm really hoping they don't. And yeah, so moving on, I tried to limit myself, even though we didn't technically have to go down to UU after this. I did go down to UU, dip down, because I felt like I wanted a Psychic type for the Megalopony also has a Psychic type weakness, and this is just I'm gonna get a Psychic type, and I'm going to pick up Reuniclus, naming it Fortune, and making it shiny, because that looks pretty swag. Why did I just say that? Pretty swag, I guess. Yeah, so Zapdos, Azumarill, and Reuniclus all resist fighting, so that's nice. We definitely have support with that. And, oh, I just spilled all my water. Whoops. Anyway. Oh, that's cold. Anyway. So, this thing gets Knockoff and Drain Punch. I don't know why I put that. Wait, does this thing get Belly Drum? I feel like it does not. Okay, never mind. Calm Mind Recover is a very prominent set on this thing. It also gets Pace, but that's not really useful. Magic Coat is good for bouncing back stuff, but this thing's so good because it gets Regenerator and Magic Guard. Magic Guard's the more like used, obviously, because you don't get you can't get toxic, kind of like the Clefable. Whereas, you know, I could just Calm Mind, recover, make it physically defensive so it can take physical hits, then Calm Mind. I feel like it gets acid armor too, so I can make it specially defensive and just boost my defense. So only thing is the Calm Mind raises my special defense slower, but it also raises my special attacks, so that's nice. So yeah, I'll get Thunder Wave, Trick, if I want to do that stuff. So yeah, moving on. What did I get after this? I wrote a notepad for everything. Okay, I wanted a Dragon type because I just felt like I wanted a Dragon type. There were a few like Kyurem. I'm good with Kyurem. I've shown that in the OSA, my first league. I like using Kyurem, but I didn't really want it because of its ice typing. I just felt like that was gonna hinder my team a bit. Kingler was also there. Haxorus was there. But I ultimately decided with getting a little more bulk on my team with Gudra. Now, Gudra, Leviathan, no, it's like that, I think. I don't know. Either way, Gudra is a really cool thing because it's got terrible defense, but the rest of its stats are pretty decent. Like, this thing's base stat total is 600. That's a pseudo legendary. So getting this thing in the 4th round is pretty cool. I actually ran a Choice Scarf Gudra once, and it worked out pretty well. And its special defense is through the roof. Like, I love going Assault Vest on this thing, and then just putting, because it gets great coverage. Gets a lot of coverage. Even Sludge Wave for fairies, and then Gooey, which is great. So, you know, if I get hit with a physical attack, my opponent's speed will be going down, which can be useful. With that base 80 speed, I might be able to outspeed some things. So, yeah. And, the special defense is huge. I can even go physical if I want, because Sap Sipper will raise my attack if I get hit by a grass type move. And this thing has Power Whip, and Outrage, and Fire Punch, and, you know, Dragon Tail, Aqua Tail, Blizzard. It gets a lot of things, basically. Ice Beam, too. So, that's cool. Superpower. Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Thunder Punch, Toxic, the list goes on. Even Acid Armor, again, raising my defense, and my special defense is already really high, so it's a good time. It's a good time with this thing. It has a lot of options, and that's what I loved in getting Gudra. So, my 6th pick, I ended up getting something that I really wanted to just experiment with, and that was Heliolisk. Now, Heliolisk is kind of, it's special in my opinion. Like, it's different because it's in UU, as you can tell. But yeah, it's in UU, and Jolteon's in RU, and I don't really understand that because looking at the stats, it gets beat by Jolteon. Like, its special attack is lower and its speed is way lower. So I don't really know why, but it just shows you. Oh, I do know why, because of its coverage. It gets Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, Glare, which you could just use Thunder Wave, you know, Volt Switch, Focus, I already said Focus Blast, Hyper Voice, Stab Hyper Voice, because it is the only normal Electric type in the game, besides Helioptile, I think might be Electric normal. But yeah, it just shows what coverage can do to a Pokemon like Heliolisk, because it gets a lot Surf for ground types, so I don't have to go HP Ice, which is going to be useful. I'm going to name this thing Impulse. So, and it will be shiny, by the way. And, yeah, hopefully it's gonna come through. I wanted to just get it to experiment with it, because I like its whole, you know, its design is cool, in my opinion, and I feel like it was overlooked, and it's overlooked in draft formats, in general. And I like, you know, kind of like what it's supposed to be. Like, you know, it's a lizard, and all 3 abilities have something to do with weather, which is cool, I guess. So that's cool. So moving on, we are going to hop into the next Pokemon I decided to get. I wanted a Steel type because Steel types are great for resistances. They just are. So I'm going to go. I picked up Registeel. Going to name it Proton. I don't know why. I'm making it shiny because that looks really cool, in my opinion. And yeah, this thing is great. It gets Clear Body, so that's cool. this is, yeah, it's good. If you thought that Gudra was especially bulky, Reggie still is, and it gets a lot more resistances with the steel typing, and it also has the same amount of defense. Now, its HP is a little lacking, but it's better than a lot of things, so I'll take it. And it can be possible setup fodder, but to be honest, this thing gets counter, which is useful. Amnesia, so if I can, you know, acid armor and amnesia, like I can just go physically defensive, give this thing amnesia, boosting both sides of the defense, and then just toxic and rest. Or I could go counter, make this thing specially defensive, and boost my attack while boosting my defense. So that'll be useful. Thunderwave, great for utility. Stealth Rocks is another big reason why I got this thing, and just overall great thing. I think I'll be bringing this to a lot of battles, just because it is it's useful. So I got Configurious. I wanted a ghost type because I don't really know why I didn't need the fighting. Well, maybe I did, because I don't know. I'm gonna be looking back again. Well, he had 3 weaknesses and 3 resistances. I just wanted to back up on this. At this point, I didn't really care about other weaknesses. I knew I had a bunch of weaknesses throughout my team, so I wasn't really worrying about this. I just wanted to get some stuff that I wanted. I'm gonna name this thing Hades because, you know, underworld stuff. Pretty cool. I got this in the EBC, which I remember from the EBC. Gets knockoff, which is great. Magic Coat, Memento, Disable. It's also nice. Calm Mind. This thing just gets a lot of stuff. Toxic Spikes, Will-O-Wisp. It has a lot of defense. Like, I got a lot of bulk, so that's really nice. And then, you know, just a bunch of stuff basically. Its versatility is useful. In Destiny Bond, Disable. Don't know if I already said that. Haze, if I don't want something setting up in my face. Does this thing get Trick Room? It does. It gets Trick Room, so I could run like a Trick Room team with Reuniclus and Configurious and just bring a Azumarill to just wreck things in the Trick Room. So that's nice. Yeah. So third Pokemon in RU, I'm going to. Sorry for whacking the mic there. I picked up Rhyperior and naming it Grimlock, which is cool. And yeah, this is a Rhyperior. It does have 2 glaring weaknesses in grass and water, but with the solid rock, it might be able to eat one. And if you put a weakness policy on this thing, and I'm just saying random set here, and give it rock polish, doubling its speed, then even with no speed investment, you'll probably have to invest in speed, but even with, you know, it's doubling its speed, so that's going to go immediately. If we put 252 without a Jolly Nature, that's going to go up to, what is that, like 360, 358 approximately. So yeah, that's useful. It also gets rocks, which is something I also wanted, because other than Registeel, I had nothing else for rocks. Roar or Dragon Tail up there, and just a lot of coverage. So Swords Dance, if I want to do that. Surf, definitely gonna bring that, definitely. So yeah, this thing's a great physical wall, and it's got even better physical attack, which is amazing. Like, this thing is coming in on any physical hit, and well, maybe not, like, whatever, you know what I mean. And then it's gonna fire back with a big physical hit. So that's great. Moving on, I had 2 more picks because there's only 11 in this draft, and I wanted to go a little funky, a little unorthodox, a little out of the box, or I think that's, yeah, out of the box. So you know, something that people would look twice at, turning heads. I don't know, a bunch of analogies. So I decided to pick up Liepard because I wanted my last 2. I told myself to make them NU/PU. So yeah, Liepard gonna be named Eclipse, and yeah, it's great. It's, looking at its stats, it's got mediocre attack and special attack, but it's got decent speed. It's really frail, so Focus Sash is gonna be useful, but it's got Prankster, and Prankster is really useful because it gets things like Encore. Whoops, that's okay. Encore, Thunderwave, Taunt, you know, U-turn, utility stuff, you know, Pursuit, Play Rough, Iron Tail, Nasty Plot for setting up if my opponent doesn't expect that Gunk Shot for fairies. I also get Iron Tail for fairies. I don't know why I didn't bring Gunk Shot. Oh, never mind. That's my voice is running out. So anyway, Eclipse, Lipard, great. I just wanted to try using it because leagues are all about fun in my opinion, but I still do take them seriously. So Eclipse is there, nice and cool, great. It's a cat, so that's interesting. Moving on, this is a pretty long, what is it called? It's a pretty long video. Anyway, my last Pokemon I decided to pick up Combuskin, gonna be named Scar, because I don't know why. Combuskin is pretty cool. It was used really effectively against me in the GSL against Alpha Alpaca. I did not say that right. Alpha Alpaca. And obviously I can't do Swords Dance Baton Pass but with Speed Boost. But I can go Baton Pass with Speed Boost without Swords Dance, or I could just run Swords Dance. I could even run Swords Dance and Baton Pass with Speed Boost. I just can't use them in conjunction with each other, which would be hard. But it's alright. This thing gets decent coverage too for Psychic types. Night Slash, you know, Poison Jab, Fairies, I guess, Shadow Claw, Rock Slide, Thunder Punch, Will-O-Wisp, if I want to run an Eviolite set. Again, Swords Dance, it gets Flare Blitz, which is nice. But this thing also has just as much special attack as it does attack, so it can be run specially. And the speed, I feel like, might help my team overall. Like, a Azumarill, it could help. A Lopunny, it could help, just so I can outspeed every single Scarfer on the team. So that could be cool. And if I'm running a slightly offensive Gudra, I could pass speed, so that's nice. Same thing with Heliolisk and even Rhyperior, you know. I could, if I get 3 speed boost, then it's gonna be really useful for a, you know, choice banded Rhyperior. I don't see anything stopping that thing. So, except it's gonna be choice banded, so anything can really come in. Anyway, that's gonna be, wow, the logo's blocking out Rhyperior. Anyway, not anymore. That's gonna be the video. If you made it to the end, congratulations, because I don't expect anyone to take 22 minutes and 30 seconds out of their day to watch this. Probably 23 minutes by the time I finish this. But thank you so much for watching, even if you skipped to the end. And please leave a like if you are hyped for this team, because I want to get a little crazy with the team, a little creative, but at the same time I want to make a good team and stuff. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.